football world doesn't stop unrelenting, and it did move on this morning with one of the key off-season appointments as the Essendon coach, John Worsfold. John, welcome to AFL 360.
Thanks very much.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's very exciting.
What does it stir in you, knowing that you are now again a coach?
Yeah, a lot of anticipation. Excitement, looking forward to it. I know how big the job is and I know how much it encompasses, but I'm looking forward to that challenge. And I did it 14 years ago, took on a job with a lot less experience and a lot less knowledge than what I have now. So I honestly believe I'm in a way better position in terms of taking on this role now and being able to have an impact.
So why do you want to do it again?
I've always loved the game. So when I retired from playing, I had a year out of the game. And in that year, I very quickly worked out that I've missed being part of a team, being part of a club. So I looked to get back involved as an assistant coach and moved to Melbourne to do that with Carlton. And I knew straight away that that's where I needed to be, inside a footy club doing some work. Then fairly quickly ended up in a senior coaching role and really enjoyed that. But it is pretty intense, and to do it from around about my 33rd birthday through to for 12 years, I definitely needed a rest, needed a break. I was trying to manufacture the real enthusiasm that the job needs, and felt that was unfair on the club and especially the players. So I've had a couple of years away, and I've challenged myself not to feel like I'm missing it. And it's been hard because I've kept a small involvement through the Coaches Association and some other AFL stuff. But heading into the Adelaide Football Club environment, as tough as a situation it was, just to see the quality of people in there and get the opportunity to work back in the game and remember that that's where I belong.
When do you sit down and say, OK, everyone, I'm not just you don't just coach the team, you help coach the club. When do you sit down with everyone and give them, this is my thinking on football and football clubs? When does that speech take place?
Yeah, it's interesting because I had a very brief chat with a lot of the administration staff this morning just to outline my general philosophy around clubs, and my philosophy is that it's not footy teams, it's footy clubs. The team is one department within a footy club, and everyone has to work brilliantly together to be a great club. We'll do our bit in the footy department to help the club achieve its goals.
Is the football department largely staying the same? Are you bringing anyone in? We know you're good friends with Guy and Blue's spoken about it. Have you announced anything, or can you announce anything?
No, I can announce there's one position available. That's with Nathan Bassett heading back to Adelaide. The club are looking for a coach. In terms of which coach it is, I'm not sure yet, as in what role that will be within the footy club. So that's the first thing I'll need to determine. Do all the coaches stay in their current positions, or is there a better way to set it up?
So it's not automatically everyone thinks mates, everyone does mates, you'll get a job. You're looking for the best person. If Bluey's that person, fine, but you don't even know what... You don't need a senior assistant, do you? Or?
I don't feel as though I need one, no. But, look, Guy McKenna is a great mate of mine. So he starts off, obviously I know him very well, massive respect for how he goes about it. I know his passion for the game. I know his work ethic. So he's got a head start in that regard.
You looked after his teammates for 12 years. His opponent, sorry, for 12 years.
Yeah, I know, that's right.
Blue was running off.
Yeah, no, gee, he had an easy ride. But so he owes me. Maybe he can come in and do all the heavy lifting now.
When you say you're excited, it's a generic word. Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
That's great. You're going to a club that has been under siege, like no other football club, maybe your club, previous club, under siege. Do you think that the club is wounded? Have you detected that in your talks with the club, that this is a club that's wounded, that needs an arm around them, or does it need a slap across the face to jolt them out of it? What's your thinking?
No, I haven't seen or noticed any of that as yet, but it's obviously very early days. So I met briefly with maybe a dozen players today. They seem pretty excited about the upcoming pre-season. So as much as there's still a little bit of doubt hanging over them with the Court of Arbitration of Sport to sit. They genuinely seem pretty excited about starting pre-season. And overall, the club, I think, are starting to focus on a new start now, even though it's there's stuff that still has to happen in regards to the WADA and ASADA stuff.
Do you have any fears about that, John?
No, not really. No, I'll just deal with whatever comes from that. Look, I'm just excited the fact that it is drawing to a close for the players specifically and for the club. And whatever the outcome is from that, we'll address that and then have a plan around moving forward from there.
Is it daunting walking into a new club?
Yeah,
John?
Absolutely. Yeah, it
well,
is.
You're at West Coast for so long and then you coached it, so you knew the surrounds. Carlton for the 1 year.
2 years.
2 years at Carlton before you went home. Suddenly you're the main man. You're assistant coach at Carlton, so now you're the main man. So what's it like walking in the doors and think, right, I'm now the coach of an unfamiliar surroundings?
Absolutely, yeah. It gets not embarrassing, but you feel like there's a big job ahead and you've got a lot of responsibility, and I don't take that lightly. That's why I never felt I was going to just throw my hat out there straight away. I had to make sure I was ready for this again.
Did you have to speak to you? How much did you have to speak to your wife, your family? Because so much has been said of that. It's a family decision.
Yeah, it is. My family have been unbelievably supportive through, my 12 years as senior coach of West Coast, where the travel and time commitment load is a fair bit higher than what it is if you're based at a Melbourne-based club. Yeah. They've been really supportive. They're excited. Yeah, we've talked about it, about the possibility of moving, upping everything. They've been really supportive and excited about it.
Did you have to talk it to your wife? And I'm sorry for prying, but so right, I'm going to get back into coaching. There's a possibility I can coach Essendon. There's a possibility I can coach Adelaide. Do you actually have to ask her, where would you like to live?
Absolutely, that is a key component because we've relocated to Melbourne once before, and we talked about all the pros and cons of getting back into coaching, and one of those is which state you're based in. And Adelaide has a similar travel load to what West Coast had over the years, and as I said, a Melbourne-based club, it pulls back a fair bit. That's not obviously the only reason around the decision to pursue the Essendon role, but that is definitely something we took into account.
You brought a welcome gift in for the man next to you?
Yeah, I did, yeah. So he wants to make a statement and you play a bit of golf.
All I said was so we wore these last week,
yeah,
John.
These are pretty popular. They're hard to get hold of, mate.
Thank you very much.
No,
I tell you what, just to judge your total investment at Essendon, are you going to wear one on occasions, John?
I'll be tipping I'll need one getting used to the Melbourne weather again. So I may load up.
It's good to have you back in the coaching ranks, John. Good luck with it.
Thanks very much.
We'll see you next year, I'm sure.